This week, it's a special episode of Matt Reviews Books. Why is it so special? Because I'm wearing glasses? More than that, we are going to play tag. It's new to Booktube tag. Welcome to Matt Reviews Books. I am your host, Matt, and normally this would be where I'd be talking about a book I've read. However, I've kind of reached the point in my reading where I need to read. I need time to read. I mean, unless you want to hear me talk about college textbooks, let me know. Maybe there's some fetishists out there. So I thought, why not try something different? Because while perusing the tube that is books, Booktube of books, discovered a couple of new booktubers. One young lady who is in fact a brand new content creator had a wonderful little getting to know you kind of video. It is the new to Booktube tag. I'll link the video where I saw her video, her channel, down below in the description box, Live with Books. And that video inspired me to go ahead and do this one right now. And then also I'll click link to the original tag creator so that you can see that one and we can keep the chain going. Let's get started. I have my questions here. Are you ready? Here we go. So where are you joining us from? I live on the west coast of the United States, in California, a little town in the north coast of California called Fort Bragg. How old are you? Well, I'm 40, and I feel ancient, because I look at all the booktubers around here, and damn if you guys ain't young. I swear I'm old enough to be your dad. Why did you join Booktube, Matt? Well, the simple answer is I didn't really mean to join Booktube. I kind of stumbled into it. I was cruising around YouTube because that's actually my favorite place to watch anything. I was like, well, all these movie reviews, I wonder if there's there's book reviewers out there with 1.7 million subscribers. What do they look like? So I looked for book reviews and I kind of stumbled upon it and I went, oh my god, I can write that. So, Matt, tell us, what is the meaning of your channel name? That's pretty simple. I mean, actually, my name's Matt. I'm reviewing books. Matt Reviews Books. What types of books do you read or want to talk about here? I read a lot. I read everything. I read history, science fiction, fantasy, historical fiction, but I also love a really good biography. If you haven't read David McCullough's biography on John Adams, it's a wonderful book. Go check it out. John Adams, President of the United States. Who are some of your favorite authors? Can you name a few? I will always pick up Piers Anthony. Piers Anthony is a writer that you really need to know about. He's been writing since the 50s, late 50s, and he wrote a series called Xanth. If you haven't heard about that, that's a beautiful series. Funny. Really, it's light fantasy, sort of light fantasy. Who else? David Eddings, obviously. I started off this whole channel with a review of David Eddings. In fact, the first two reviews I did on this channel were David Eddings and Neil Stephenson. So, what's the last book you read? Well, the last book I read was actually Tal Klein's The Punch Escrow. Whether or not you listen to me gab about it, you need to go read that book. That's wonderful writing. Wonderful science fiction. What are you currently reading? Currently, I am reading Jim Butcher, Skin Game. Yes, on the recommendation of two of you, there's a couple of commenters who made a strong case that Stormfront wasn't his best book and that his writing gets better in the series. So I went to the library, and I picked up Jim Butcher's Skin Game. Just spoilers, y'all were right. The writing gets better. It's just my opinion on these books, so if you give me a good argument about why you think that I might be mistaken, or you have there's a different perspective, it sounds to me that maybe I ought to give it a try again, second or even third try. I will do so. I'm not too proud. What do you use for bookmarks, Matt? Well, actually, I use whatever's lying around. Sometimes it's a real bookmark from a real bookstore. Sometimes it's a receipt from the gas station or the grocery store. Sometimes it's a ticket stub from the theater, movie theater. So, can you show us your TBR, your to be read pile? I have a few bookshelves, and I just sort of put books wherever they'll fit, but I don't really have like a pile right now. It's just they're all interspersed, and I can look at the bookshelf and go, I haven't read that one. As a reader, what do you prefer? Do you prefer paperback, casebound, hardback, ebook, or real books? Do you prefer to own or borrow books? I prefer to own books, real books. I will always pick up paperback. Casebound, I don't know. I like paperbacks. Yeah. What book or series got you into reading? The book or series that got me into reading, that's a good question. Eddings is pretty early. That was 7. I read a lot of choose your own adventure novel books. Do you remember those things? Choose your own adventure. I read those things. I read the same thing. I did read Lord of the Rings. There was a summer, a really hot summer. I was up visiting my father in Placerville, in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada, and I was reading Lord of the Rings. And it was this miserably hot summer, and all I did for a week straight, I was 11, and all I did for a week was read Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Back to back. It was fantastic. It was awesome. My dad was reading to me. He wasn't reading kids' books. He was reading Huckleberry Finn, Tom Sawyer, Master of Ballantrae, Kidnapped, Shipwrecked. So, books have just been part of my life. I don't know that there's anything that really started me reading, because I've been involved with words forever. My entire life. Take that, put that in your pipe and smoke it. How did you discover Booktube? Well, I already answered that. Come on, stop repeating yourself. What challenges do you think you'll face with your channel, besides finding the time to write, record, and edit and upload video? I guess that's it, is finding the time to do this. I have a full-time job. Like right now, it's like 11 o'clock, almost 11 o'clock at night when I'm doing this. I fit these things in wherever I can. Sometimes it's during the day, sometimes it's late at night. Where else can we find you? You know, like social media and such. You can find me at Facebook, at Reed Writer. You can look for that, or you can search for Matthew Reed. I have a public profile on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram at MatthewReedMedia.com. You can find my website, MatthewReedMedia.com. That's me. I put stuff there. So where are we at? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Reed Historian, and Tumblr at Matthew Reed Media. And there's a lot of websites, a lot of social media places, accounts that I maintain to try and build a presence. Well, I've actually heard you describe it as digital media dominance. Yeah, as a matter of fact, that is exactly what I'm aiming for. And that's on my way to collect a Pulitzer and a Nobel Prize for Literature. And if you think I'm full of bullshit, then you're probably 80% correct. And that's it. That's all for me here. I hope that some of you out there in the great beyond were, entertained. Because I kind of entertained myself doing it. And with that, I will see you next time.